Tom, this is your May 5th, 2025 lesson. It's going to be interesting because, as I mentioned before I started recording, is your 7-iron swing is totally different than your driver's swing. Your driver's swing is it's pretty doggone good. And so I'll show you the differences and just for education purposes, and then we'll drill down and see why your 7-iron is so much different. Okay, so we explained the lines, but let's just play this thing through at super slow speed. Yeah, so it's an athletic swing going back, ends up in a pretty good spot at the top, and then coming down is where we kind of sink the ship. But like I said before I started recording, look, you're turning through it good, good athletic swing. It's just you're coming in a weak. Let's go through position by position. The setup is pretty good. The hands are nicely under your shoulders. The eye line, which I like, is up here over the ball. It's good. Right amount of flex in your knees, not over bending from the waist. So posture, position 1 is good. The takeaway, okay, dragging it inside here, and so where it should be is right there. See where the here's the club head right here. So the shaft is sticking out of the monitor. Yours is, see, you're off playing immediately. Now, I like the fact that the toe of the club is up, but here's the shaft. Whoops. Now you got to do something drastic to get it close to being on plane. And sure enough, you get it exactly on plane there. Now, because you kind of come this way, there's a tendency to reverse loop. Okay, so then, yeah, so then you get like this. Now watch, you're just dumping over the top, and see how that's getting steeper. See that angle between the yellow line? That's getting steeper, and here's the number one here's the number one crime is the checkpoint when the hands get waist high, and we'll write this out for you so you don't have to memorize it, is when the hands are waist high, every good player in the world, let me get rid of, has the shaft on their forearm. It doesn't matter if it's Furic swing, Trevinos, they all end up with, let me draw Scott here, so he comes down, they all end up with this checkpoint. See the checkpoint? Yours is out here. So it's interesting too. So started here, so you dump the head over the ball like a couple, so it's kind of going forward that way. That's not as much trauma as this two. So now I'll get pictures of this, and so to be honest, your homework is to take pictures, print them out, in a mirror, duplicate the position from the top to here, and that's better than a million balls. That's the first thing that goes wrong. Now you're just trying to catch up. So the next check is when the goes to the ground. Exactly. And where it should be, a good player is start to see the hands. The hands are sorry, the club head is slightly behind. Yeah. So those are the guideposts that's going to correct your swing as quick as possible. All you have to do is guideposts. Seems easy enough. So, picture now. From here, you know, that's example is the club here. So better the club here. So you got to be dressed. The path will be so. Not only if you don't jump out of the way, stick a fork in the ball, then they're saving. It's that's the path. What happens is you're a good athlete. So the video, the first part was done during the lesson and identified things that you should look at refining. Okay, so this shows something that's really unusual. I've never seen it before. The swing on the left is your 7-iron as we started out, and we analyzed this to death and talked about how steep it was, and we gave you the guideposts for determining if it's steep or not. Then we did the driver, which typically is just a similar swing, and watch how good this swing is. See, the shaft hardly leaves the plane at all. That's why you could hit this all day long, whereas you're struggling. Why the driver swing was so much better, and we talked about shallowing it out and moves like that. Then you went and hit your 6 hybrid and nailed it, and then what we did was immediately switch to my 6-iron, regular iron, and that's what we have on the right here. So let's just play this thing through. I've never seen such a huge change ever. And this was just after like a 20-minute conversation, and did a couple of drills. We actually, the drill that seemed to work best for you is take it to the top and hold it. Then you can reboot your mind with just thinking of the downswing, and sure enough, you're hitting the guidepost. So just in review, as you come down, we want the top to have depth, which is, this is great depth. That's why it's just like your driver swing. Okay, so then the next, that's the first guide point. The next guide point, hands are waist high. The shaft is on your forearm. Oops, you get the idea. And the next one is the shaft is parallel to the ground. The club head is slightly behind your hands like that, so you're ready to go there. So a huge change. You just have to make it a habit now.